Hey everybody, it's just me coming at you with another Wonderlands build video. This is a Clawbringer Blightcaller melee ability damage build. It's a rework of my original Clawbringer build. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who liked and subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and do so. And with that, let's go ahead and get into the video. And now starting off over here in the weapons and gear, we have the delusion. I use the delusion to apply the soaked effect to the bosses before I melee them. You'll want to be holding the live wire when you melee the bosses. The live wire gives you increased melee damage. The weapon I was using for all of the one-shots in this video was the shock spellblade. Specifically, Echo would be best. That's not important when you're doing just one hit, but the Spellblade needs to be shock because we're doing increased shock damage on the Clawbringer tree. And then our rings are just 2 melee damage rings. You just want to increase melee damage as much as you can. We're running the Cursed Wit. That's why you've seen me breaking my shield every time I'd go in for the hit. This specific one has 20% to melee damage. That's a really good passive on it. Then, like all my other melee ability damage builds, we're running the Paradigm. This one is probably the best one I have for this specific build because it has 1 into all. Realistically, I would say the best you would want in slot for this build would be a Paradigm with 3 into all. The Paradigm has to be ability damage and spell damage are increased by melee. That's what you're going to want there. Then we are running the Buffmaster, the Ka-Chow Bonk Cryo Buffmaster. It has to be Cryo. We use the Cryo on the Buffmaster to apply the Frost status effect for the increased melee damage on the Blightcaller tree, the skill called Frostbite. So that's why it has to be cryo. I run Ka-Chow and Bonk because Ka-Chow increases your ability damage and crit chance. Bonk increases your melee damage, which is what we're doing. So it's 2 increases to the build. So it's exactly what you want. Ka-Chow, Bonk, cryo. And then the necklace, all you have to have is all damage dealt on a necklace. It really does not matter what necklace you use. I use the Urge because the Plague Storm, it takes a long time to get back, and so having this and running the Buffmeister is just really nice to get it back. But all damage dealt is what you're looking for on the passives. And starting off over here in the Clawbringer tree, we have 5 out of 5 into Oath of Thunder. We're going to be dealing melee damage, so the bonus lightning is perfect since we're running a lightning spellblade. I went 5 out of 5 into Rebuke. I went 4 out of 5 into Dedication, and I went 5 out of 5 into Dragon Aura. Dragon Aura is very strong. It's just increased elemental damage. Dedication and Rebuke, I just went with these two because I was trying to get down the tree, and so you technically could put it anywhere you want. I would say that for this build, put it in these two. Put it exactly like I have it here, 5 out of 5 and 4 out of 5. That'll be your best bet. And then you go 1 out of 1 into this skill, killing an enemy with melee damage. It makes your Wyvern summon a lightning orb. The lightning orb does ability damage, and we're buffing ability damage through our paradigm, so that's just more damage. 1 out of 1 into Storm Breath. This is just more lightning damage. 1 out of 1 into Indomitable. I went with this one because I kept going down. This kind of gives you like a second chance. Instead of going down into fight for your life, you just have your shield refilled. So this helped me out a lot in some of the Chaos Trials. And then you want to max out awe as much as you can. Like I said, best in slot for this body, or for the body armor for this build, would be 3 out of 3 into awe, which would put us at 6 out of 3 into awe, which would be very nice. And then I went ahead and went 1 out of 1 into Storm Smite. Like I had stated, I went ahead and decided to go down the Clawbringer tree this time instead of the Blightcaller tree, and it seems to have worked out pretty well. And then over here in the Blightcaller tree, we have 5 out of 5 into status effect, chance, and duration. 5 out of 5 into Geist in the Shell. 4 out of 5 into poison damage. And 1 out of 1 into Bogged Down. I mainly just went into the poison damage and the Geist in the Shell just to get down the tree because we're trying to get to Frostbite. 3 out of 3 into Frostbite. It's a very big melee damage increase, and it seemed to help out a whole lot. That's why we have to run the Cryo Buffmeister. Then over here in our Myth rank, I went ahead and had it on the melee, so y'all can see that I don't have an absurd amount of melee. I actually have 0 melee damage increases. I do, however, have 20 out of 20 into swing speed. I have 20 out of 20 into crit chance, and I have 12 out of 20 into crit damage, but none into melee damage increases. So yeah, guys, that's the build. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you haven't, please follow and subscribe. Thank you.